Hello everyone, my name is Disha Mehta, legal intern at Lexis and Company and a law student at Gujarat University. So, in the previous video, we talked about the voluntary winding up of a company or voluntary liquidation of the company. And we had talked about the first part, that is voluntary winding up by the members. And now we are going to talk about the second part, which is the creditors' voluntary winding up. So, let us know about the same. So, first, the provisions applicable to the voluntary liquidation by creditors and voluntary liquidation by the creditors. So, the legal provisions for the voluntary liquidation by members and voluntary liquidation by creditors are applicable to both. Short details of such provisions are: first one is the appointment of liquidator is made in the general meeting. Second one is within 10 days of appointment of liquidator, the registrar should be informed about it by the notice. Third one is with the appointment of the liquidator, the powers of board of director, managing director and manager comes to an end. But the liquidator or members give power to the extent in the general meeting or continue to the designation. To that extent, it would remain applicable. Fourth, if the process of liquidation continues for more than a year, then after 1 year of beginning of the liquidation, the liquidator has to convene a meeting of members or creditors at the end of 1 year. If the process of liquidation continues for more than a year, then every year such meeting is required to be convened, or it should be convened as per the decision of the central government. Fifth one is from the amount derived from the assets, the remaining amount from the distribution to creditors, it is to be disbursed among the members. Sixth one is the list of creditors and dues by them is to be prepared and submitted to the liquidator. Seventh is after the completion of process of liquidation, the general meeting of members and after the completion of process of liquidation for creditors, their meeting is convened in which the liquidators give the details of the process of the liquidation. He gives details as to what use was made of the assets and the accounts. Last one is the expense and remuneration of liquidators are paid before paying the other debts. Now, let us know what is the voluntary liquidation by the creditors. Now, when the declaration of solvency is not prepared and not noted before the company registrar, then it is presumed that the company is unable to pay back its liabilities. If presented in another manner, if the economic condition of the company is insolvent, then it can be voluntarily liquidated only by the creditors. Procedure for the same and the provisions of Companies Act related to it are: first, the meeting of the creditors. When the proposal for voluntarily liquidating the company is placed and the general meetings get convened to pass the resolution for the same, on the same day or on the next day, the company should convene the meeting of its creditors. When the notice of general meeting is issued to the members, simultaneously the notice to the creditors for the meeting should also be issued. The notice to creditors should have to be published in the official gazette and advertisement in minimum 2 newspapers in the district where the company's registered office is situated. Next one is the present the list of creditors in meeting. The directors will have to appoint any one of them as the chairman of the meeting for passing the necessary resolution for the liquidation in the meeting of the creditors. In this meeting, the director should present the list of creditors, registers regarding the claims of creditors and the financial condition of the company. Next one is resolution related to the liquidation in the meeting. A resolution to liquidate the company should have to be passed in the meeting. If such resolution cannot be passed due to lack of quorum, then it can be passed in the next meeting. Next one is notice of resolution to registrar. The copy of the resolution passed by the resolution in the meeting is to be issued by the company registrar in notice within 10 days of passing the resolution. If it fails in doing so, then the company and the company's every responsible officer is liable to punishment till the breach continues. The next one is appointment of liquidator. The members of the company in their general meeting and the creditors in their meeting can appoint the liquidator. If two different persons are appointed as liquidators, then the person appointed by the creditors will work as the liquidator. But after such appointment, if any director, member, or creditor applies within 7 days of such appointment, then the person appointed by the members will work as liquidator, or the liquidator appointed by members will jointly work with the liquidator appointed by the creditors. But if the creditor do not appoint any liquidator, then the liquidator appointed by the members will work as one. Next one is appointment of committee of inspection. The creditors can decide to appoint a committee of inspection in the above meeting or in the next meeting. Such committee of inspection is done to supervise the working of the liquidator. If the creditors deem fit to examine and supervise the working of the liquidator, such committee of inspection is decided to be appointed. Such committee of inspection should not contain maximum more than 12 persons. The members and creditors have equal rights to appoint such committee. Next one is remuneration of liquidators. The remuneration of liquidator is determined in the meeting of creditors itself. If the creditors do not determine the remuneration, then court determines it. After determining the remuneration, raise in it is not possible. The next one is end of the powers of board of directors. Like the voluntary liquidation by the members, here also when the liquidator is appointed, the power of board of directors can cease to be operative. But to the extent the committee of inspection approves their power, to that extent their power could be operative. The next one is to fill in the vacant place of the liquidator. If the post of liquidator falls vacant due to death, resignation, or any other reason, then the creditors can fill in the vacant place. In such a manner, if the liquidator is appointed, then also it should be informed to the registrar of company within 10 days. Next is to convene the meeting of creditors. If the process of liquidation of the company continues for more than 1 year, then the liquidator has to convene the meeting of the creditors. If the process of liquidation continues for more than 1 year, then at the end of every year, the meeting of creditors should be convened. Though central government can extend the time limit for convening the meeting, the liquidator has to submit accounts, register, and statement in the meeting. The last step is dissolution. The provision of dissolution, which is there in the voluntary liquidation by the members, is applicable here also. In the voluntary liquidation by members, the final meeting is convened, while here the meeting of creditors is convened. The liquidator has to give details as how he disposed of the assets, how the process of liquidation was carried out, etc. are to be presented in the meeting of the creditors. Prior to 1 month of convening the meeting of creditors, a notice to be issued in the Gazette and in the newspaper. Now the official liquidator will submit his report to the court, and from that date the company would be considered as dissolved. So hope you like it. Thank you.